Hey, I'm Jimmy Gretzinger with Michigan Out of Doors Television. We're here today with Seth Herbst from the DNR, actually the DNR Aquatic Invasive Species Coordinator. And Seth, before we get into specifics about what we're going to talk about as far as which species we're looking at today, just for the average angler, why are invasives a bad thing?
Okay. Well, Jimmy, invasive species have, throughout the past 10 or 15 years, really influenced our native fish communities in a very negative way. A couple examples there would be sea lamprey in the Great Lakes. Everybody is familiar with how they've influenced the salmon and the lake trout fishery in the Great Lakes waters.
And we spend a lot of money to combat those.
Exactly, yeah. So we're talking about millions of dollars on an annual basis to try to control some of these invasive species. Most of which have the ability to, after they're introduced, really become abundant and just dominate a water body or an ecosystem. So with that being said, you can tell that our native fish community would certainly be influenced by a very abundant, negative invasive species.
Okay, so the species that we really want to talk about today is the dogfish. That's the common name for it. It's really a bowfin, and it looks a lot like a snakehead. So Seth, what are some common things that folks can look at and say, okay, this is a bowfin and this is a snakehead? How do we tell the difference?
So just up front, fish do change color here and there. So based on the differences in color, certain things don't change with the fish. So what I want to point out today is this fin here, which is the anal fin, which is quite a bit shorter on this bowfin than it would be on a snakehead.
So how much bigger would it be on a snakehead?
Yep. So when you're looking at the snakehead, your anal fin would probably be about this long.
So quite large.
And then this fin here would actually be a little further up too.
Okay.
And then the other thing that would be different from a bowfin and a snakehead is actually this dot here. Snakehead will not have that dot on the back.
Okay.
And in specific, bowfin, actually, not all bowfin have that.
Oh.
Right. So with the males,
they have the dot, you know for sure.
For sure, it's a bowfin. Yes.
Okay.
So with the males and the juveniles of the bowfin, they'll have this distinct dot on the back.
Okay.
But if you're in question and say it's a female and it doesn't have that dot, every single time this fin here will be substantially shorter in length. I mean, almost double in length with a snakehead versus this native bowfin.
Okay. And so really, I think it's really impactful for a lot of bass fishermen, as we know there's bass tournaments all over the state of Michigan. That is a very specific angler that would be impacted if we got snakehead into our system.
Yeah, if snakehead show up, they've actually been known to eat largemouth bass when they're juveniles. But then as an adult, snakehead actually outcompete the native adult largemouth bass. So out east, they've been having issues with snakehead actually outcompeting largemouth bass, which obviously influences some of the fishing experiences that those anglers are having out there in those waters.
Okay. Well, very good information for us as anglers here in the state of Michigan. Again, if you have questions, you can always go to the DNR website, find out information there. And Seth, thanks for your time and sharing your wisdom with us.
Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate you having me.
For further information or to have any of your questions answered, you can check out the DNR's website at the link below.